Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you found me, and I'm so glad I found you. Welcome to part 2 of the mysteries of the number 7, and where we were talking about how important the 7 is, that it was built into nature. That's how important it is. It was built into nature. So we just love it. A sacred nature to the number. All right, people, at the beginning, I always ask you to like, subscribe, follow, click on thumbs up, share, and always leave comments. I need comments. I really do. I'm enjoying myself. I'm loving doing this, and I'm hoping that in a day 2 people listen to what I have to say, and maybe to spark a conversation, and those 2 people tell 2 more, and just have conversation. Like I said, I believe this 2020 lockdown is the best time, absolute best time to do self-work, to come out better, to come out with wisdom, to come out with understanding, to be a person that receives information, receive what the Lord has for them, and that they give back to the universe what they learn. What they say, reach one, teach one. We need our old grandmas who used to just, every time they opened their mouth, there was just so much wisdom. It was ridiculous. And you kind of trusted her, like, this woman knows some secrets to things. And so grandma, they always say she was wise, but those years she took upon herself to be filled up with experiences and outcomes and consequences that allowed her to grow to a wise woman of many years. So we need to attain that. Everybody's like, I want my bag, I want my coins and stuff. Sometimes it's nice to try to reach and attend to be a fount of wisdom, a fount of understanding, a place where people can go and drink from to feel better, to feel uplifted. Okay, so I hope 2020 is one of these times where we just say, oh, let me understand, Lord, what you have for me to understand. Let me see, Lord, what it is you want me to see, Lord. Let me move, Lord, in a way that's helpful, not hurtful. That should be your prayer for 2020. Okay? So let's get back to this wonderful number 7. They said in Iran, when a baby is born, 7 kinds of fruits and 7 types of aromatic seeds are placed on a mat, and the child is named on the 7th day. Wow. Now, Iran, we know that is the area where the biblical Israelites raised up over there, Egypt and Iran, Iraq, all those countries over there. And they use 7 fruits and 7 aromatics. 7 fruit and 7 aromatics, and named the baby on the 7th day. Now we know that 3 wise men brought aromatics and other gifts to the baby Jesus when they came. So this isn't something like, oh, they're so silly and stupid. What they doing that for? The gift to the newborn baby concept, isn't that something? A lot of people had a newborn, and I had a niece, she had a little girl, first little girl, and she had the prettiest name picked out for her, and she named the baby. She had 2 names she was choosing from, and she picked the one, and she said, I named her this. After having the baby just a week or 2, she was like, man, I look at her and her personality and how cute she is, just a little button, and her name should have been something else, the second choice. So sometimes it's good to see your baby, look into the depth of those eyes, and you see kind of the name you want them to carry with that beautiful eyes and facial structure and what have you. Naming isn't that random. We're called by it every day. We live into it, and we need to pay attention to some of the meanings of the words we choose, because that's what's called all the time. And like I tell people, my name is Dorothy, which means gift of God. So every time someone says my name, Dorothy, they're saying, hey, gift of God. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And I hope and pray, I've always hoped and prayed, dear Lord, to let me be a gift to somebody, a gift of God. Alright, so that's the Iranians. That's cool. 7 fruits and 7 aromatic. For Native American, 7 is the cosmic coordinate of humans. 7 is the cosmic coordinate of humans. I don't know what that is, but you know they be going on those trances. They go out to get their name through some kind of trance. They're very spiritual with the earth, wind, and ground. They're very nature in tune with animals are sacred and stuff like that. So it says 7 is the cosmic coordinate of humans. So I don't know what that means. I should have looked it up for you. Maybe you'll look it up for me and tell me. Let's do something like that. All right. Everybody know there's 7 colors of the rainbow: red, orange, green, yellow, blue, and indigo. 7 people. If 7 ain't slapping you upside the head with importance, I don't know. And it may not be important to say, get your attention. Get your attention. We know that why we have the rainbow, to let the world know that God would never flood it again. But we see rainbows all the time now, and we already know that, okay, we're not going to be flooded again, but maybe there's other meanings behind, spiritual meanings behind seeing a rainbow. Now people are seeing double rainbows, which are beautiful. And I think I may have seen a picture of a triple rainbow. But the number 7 is significant for that rainbow. And if we're not going to flood again, just as a symbol is all, that's a lot. That speaks a lot in itself. And we thank the Lord for that. And we praise Him for that number 7. 7 colors. Okay, festivities were held on the 7th day in China. They still are, still are. All the festivals are held on the 7th day. In Buddhism, there are 7 Buddhas. Okay? When Buddha was born, he measured 7 steps for the universe, making each in 4 directions. So 7 is a Buddha sign. And I guess when he was born, all right, he took 7 steps in the universe, not in China. 7 steps in the universe, north, south, east, west, right? And that's what he did, mark the universe in 4 directions. 4 is very grounded too. I say, I don't pay attention to 4, but I understand 4. And I respect 4, but I don't see it spiritually as for me personally, but I like the number 4 and what it does. 5, 2. 5 is grace. 8, I forgot what 8 is. I don't know, but it's just fun to look at them and read them about them. But if it's something that's repeating in your life over and over and over, and also I always wake up at 3 something in the morning. I just have 3s dancing all on top of me, slap me, boom, 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 punch me in the gut. 3 is my number, my angel number. And Jesus speaks to me, God speaks to me, the universe speaks to me, the Holy Spirit speaks to me. I know something is trying to get my attention, okay? All right, so Buddha did that. In Christian religion, theological virtues are, okay, theological study of God. In the study of the Christian religion as a whole totality, theological virtues. These are virtues that come up, themes, they're virtues though, that come up in the Bible as a whole. You can pull one out and it's spoke like that throughout the Bible, New Testament, Old Testament. You can pull another one out, you think this is New Testament, and you can see that throughout the New Testament as an underlying theme, okay? So, Christian religion, theological views are first, faith all the way front from Acts to Revelation, hope, mercy, caution. People need to get them a red highlighter and do cautions, because it says if, every if needs to be with a red highlighter, because the things that's promised, I tell you, you can have this, I give you this, I give you that, and it's always if you do. So you don't get anything that's said ahead of that unless you do. And people leave out the if I do, if I will, if. So if is such a strong word for caution, moderation, righteousness, and strength. So we have faith, hope, mercy, caution, moderation, righteousness, and strength. The Lord gives us strength. Moderation is how not to live your life full out and crazy. Most of the sins are excess of. Excess of sex is cheating and affairs and infidelities. Having premarital sex. So you can see why moderation is a problem. Okay, in the Bible, there are 7 candlesticks there are candlesticks that always have the 7 branches, 7 heavens where the angels live. Now, see, I stumbled over it because I don't know anything about the candlestick and its branches or 7 heavens where angels live. I don't know anything about them personally. I should look them up before I did the video, but I didn't. And I hope, this is another place I ask you, can you tell me anything about the 7 branches on a candlestick? 7 branches on a candlestick. And then 7 heavens where angels live. I didn't look that up because that didn't seem like it rung a bell with me in the Bible. And I have a master's in the Bible. And I don't think I ever heard of the 7 heavens where angels live. But they're saying that's in the Bible. So I would like, if you would, somebody look that up and teach me something, square me away. I'd appreciate it. Leave it in the comments. Thank you. Okay, in the Old Testament, 7 appears 77 times. Bible, 700 times. In the Old Testament, 77 times. Yeah, 700 is total in the scripture and 77 in the Old Testament. And you do your subtraction, do you know exactly how many times in the New Testament? Okay, in Japan, the 7 gods bring happiness. That's in Japan. The 7 gods bring happiness. In the Hindu philosophy, they believe that through 7 you reach a collection of all the universe. Hindu philosophy believes that through 7 you reach a collective of all the universe. It's through the teaching of the 7 showing up. It's through the teaching of observing the 7s as you live your life. Maybe if you choose. Today I drink 7 cups of coffee. Today I buy 7 pair of shoes. Something to do with 7. Today I always put my microwave stuff, when I microwave stuff, I put it on 333. I don't know why. I just feel an urge that it's just perfect. The food is perfect when I put it on 333. This isn't obsessive because I don't have to do that. I can use other numbers. Most of the time, when it happens, it just happens. Sometimes I'm like, hey, put this on 333. It's usually on stuff I really, really like. I put it on 333. Somehow it makes me happy. Don't get me wrong. I don't cuddle up with the number 3. The 3 is not, I don't worship it, don't pray to it, or anything like that. But 3 is a companion of mine that brings my attention. It brings me joy, it brings me comfort, it brings me reassurance, and it's a God number. It's a God number. That's to say, well, that's 13. People demonize the number 13 because people believed in it and they made it evil. But 13 was always a great number. People enjoyed it, probably before the Salem witch trial, because 1 meant there was one God only, and the 3 signified the 3 in 1. So 13 was actually sacred. I don't know who started crying about 13, but when you go back past the, like I say, Salem witch trials, what have you, 13 was a powerful, powerful number. And as always, man want to take from you so they can be over you. Everyone, they do not want everyone to live into their best and powerful, because then they won't need people as much. But there would be so much more kindness, understanding, and love if we all were able to live into who we were without any kind of harassments, threatening, sabotage, and all of that. It would be really beautiful. So, the Hindu philosophy believed that through the seven you reach a collection of all the universe. Okay, the Bible originally was divided into 7 parts. The Bible was originally divided into 7 parts. And the first part was the law. We know the 5 first books of the Bible. The prophets. I have read some of the prophets, but it's a lot of prophets. The major and the minor prophets. So I think they split that just from the prophets to the major prophets and the minor prophets. Psalms. Psalms are so important that it's singing, it's music, it's David crying out, but it is crazy. Those songs be talking about kill this person, rip their tongue out, stick a stick up their butt and harm them, kill my enemies, knock them out, drag them, tear their limbs off of. It's kind of violent singing. It's kind of violent. And then you get to the lovely part, like a beautiful 23rd Psalm or beautiful 27th Psalm, where David be raining down some stuff on people in a psalm. All right, we have the Gospels, beautiful, beautiful Gospel. Acts of the Apostle, that's just the book of Acts. Acts is so important, it used to stand alone, and people don't understand what the whole book of Acts meant. And I'm not going to tell you right now. Maybe one day I'll tell you more about the importance of the book of Acts standing alone on its own before you even get into the gospel. The Acts came before the gospel. Now, the Bible is not in any particular chronological order. It ain't like it's lined up as things happen. It's just was when the king said, all right, it's too many epistles, which are letters to towns and to groups. It was too many floating around. Just say your city may had a lot of different letters from Luke, and then the neighboring city or state was heavily instructions for John. And this did happen because, as Acts tell you, they were sent out into the world to preach the gospel. All right, that is life, birth, ministry, death, and resurrection of God, of Jesus. So when these people going out to Spain, Peter and Paul, and we only have the other disciple is actually James, John, Matthew, Luke was not one, Mark was not one, but we have Peter. We only have just a dribble. Paul was not an original disciple. He came later. He was not under the tutelage of Jesus at that time. It was after his death, Paul came and said he had a Damascus experience. But yeah, so Acts of the Apostle, general epistles. Epistles are letters written to specific countries, places, people who have asked a question. But in the assembling of the book, it made it a universal answer for the entire body of Christendom. So they like this place was having a problem with speaking in tongues, and then one of the disciples wrote about what he thought about it and answered that question for that area. Now, in other areas of the country, people probably didn't even fool with speaking in tongues. It never occurred because it's different gifts given, you know. So maybe they didn't have a problem with that. They had a problem with sexual problems, and he wrote about marrying and to enjoy each other sexually. But then the king says just so much going on, so many different letters to different places. He said, I want y'all to get together, lock up in this room, and come out with what will be the Bible. We're going to use what y'all determine is important, prudent, and what matters, and the rest we're going to burn. And they had everybody bring other letters and stuff in to burn, and just this compilation, which I mean, this codified. I mean, they agreed on it. This is it. I stamped it. This is what we will follow. This goes to everyone, blanket over everyone, to see how to behave and act. All right, so that's what happened there. So that the Bible had all of those: the law, the prophets, the Psalms, the gospel, the Acts of the Apostle, the general epistles. Paul is separated out of the general epistles. So every letter is from Paul. Paul answered a lot of questions. I don't know what happened to the rest of the disciples' letters. That the last disciple, follower of Christ, Paul, had the most influence. But in the Catholic religion, it was Peter that the church was handed down to. But within the Bible, Paul rules. Paul rules. Paul was a prolific writer, and I don't know if everybody else's stuff got burned. I don't know. Anyhow, and then the book of Revelation. It's not Revelations. It's Revelation. It is a revelation. One big ass revelation. Not revelations. This is one encapsulating thing that's going to happen to you. Heads up. And it's put at the end of the Bible. It is put there. That's not the order, of course, of how things went. It may have been. But remember, each one of these was separate. The revelation was separate, given by, they say, John when he was in exile. And it was a standalone. He wrote this, and at the end he said, shame on those who don't read this. Everybody should read this. This is important for everybody to read, the Revelation. And it said, do not change one word in this book. In that particular book, Revelation said, don't you dare change one word of this book. And they take this statement from Revelation. Like I say, I always tell people, when something's in the Bible, it repeats people more than once. This is a standalone occasion for one book of a man who was on the island, independent. This was a revelation given to him by God. And God said, do not change one word of this. There is no other places that say that about any epistles, acts, or anything. It was specific to Revelation. And people say, I don't read Revelation because it's scary. I don't read Revelation because it's sad. But in your Christian religion, the passage says you need to read this. There's no excuse. Read the book of Revelation and do not change one word. So, Revelation is important, and this is what you can see, that what we say is a nature, what we call it, sacred nature number. 7 still remains a sacred nature number. Remember, I ain't gonna jump myself. So Revelation, the book of Revelation, mentions 7 churches, 7 angels, 7 plagues, 7 trumpets, 7 thunders, and 7 last plagues. Okay? Do you think maybe the number 7 in Revelation is important? Sacred nature. God ascribed a sacred nature to the number 7. Can you see that? That is amazing, all those 7s. 7 means something, people. It's not voodoo. It's not witchcraft. It's nothing. It's encoded. It's been standing 7 since the beginning of time. I could go on and on about 7, everything. Like you said, it's mentioned 777 times in the whole Bible. 77 times in the Old Testament. It would take forever to cover all the 7s. But it is there. And maybe you'll go further in the study about the 7. Jesus gave 7 parables during his ministry. And he performed 7 miracles. If you still are afraid of believing in the power of numbers, I don't understand how you read your Bible and don't get this pearl of wisdom that don't have to knock you over the head for you to see something goes on with the number 7. Even me teaching this, I was discussing it. That's what I'd rather say. Even after me discussing this, I was doing a different topic, absolutely different topic. Then boom, something pulled me to write about 7. Then I studied and went and read about the earth angel, the angel number 7. And like I said, I went to journal. And when I went to write the time down, because I write the time down when I journal, it was 717, 7:17 in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, I just read about the angel number 7, and 717 is a flow. It's very important, an important flow, okay? Then I went to write the date, and it was August 17th, and I just had to sit there a minute and just take it in. It just happened. I had got up, went outside probably and did something outside, came back, and I said, oh, I'm gonna journal about the number 7 I just was looking at. And then the time was 717. I'm like, this is crazy. And that time just sat there. It wasn't like, oh, it went by fast. Oh, that didn't happen. It sat there. Then I said, okay. And then the date was 17. I'm like, so that's 17717. What? Okay. So Jesus gave 7 parables during his ministry. He performed 7 miracles. In the zodiac sign Libra, which I'm a Libra, Libra is the 7th sign. Libra is the 7th sign out of 12. It is the only sign that isn't alive in some shape or form. It is a man-made item. The scales of justice. You've seen the scales of Libra holding them. Everything else is alive. The Virgin, Virgo, the Bull, Taurus, Scorpio, the Scorpion, Sagittarius, the half man, half horse, Pisces, the fish, Aries, the ram, on and on and on. Who else? I don't know who else is by it. Scorpio, Sag. I don't know Aquarius and Capricorn, what they look like. Cancer, we said the crabs, right? Okay, so that's it. That's what I want to say about that. I threw it out there, and it lands where it lands in Jesus' name. Hope it's uplifting. Hope it points you in a direction of research. Hopefully it points you in a direction of listening to your intuition about things, or taking it, the number 7 coming to your life to take a moment to learn. But mostly the 7-year itch. Married people, hang in there. Do your work on self. If the marriage is crumbling, each of you need to do some self-work. And I do believe myself that since 3 is the number of manifestation, I believe for this coronavirus, this is me, ain't no witch, I didn't look it up, I didn't do a crystal ball or gaze at anything. I just feel it within me, my hunch and my intuition, as I have seen how numbers play in my life. That 3 is the number of manifestation, that we won't have a true, reliable not harmful vaccine or pill or injection of some sort for COVID. I don't think it may be something that come up and there's trials and it don't work, but I do not think that we are going to come up with medicinal treatment for the coronavirus until 3 months into the first vaccine. I think I said 3 months, I mean 3 years that we'll have. So this is 2020, so the 1 to 223. 2023 is when I predict that we'll have a reliable treatment course for the coronavirus, and then 7 is the year of completion. So 2027 is when I believe the virus will actually be under control universally and not pump it up, causing problems. And everybody said, that's too long. Well, this is a long haul. It is a long haul. Life is changing. Like I say, pay attention to things going around you. Don't get crazy. Don't get obsessed. Don't get irrational. Don't start coming up with conspiracy theory. Just breathe in and let the universe and the Lord and your angels guide you. And like I said, I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my videos. I just love you all. Like I said, I only give out what I want to receive in. So I'm giving you out love, peace, understanding, a little smile here and there, and a little knowledge and wisdom. And I hope you give that back to me. Comment. I can't tell you too much how much comments will mean to me. So thank you so much and enjoy your day. Love you.